Hey everybody, this is Mr. Regner, and this is the Desmos graphing tool that we can use online. And so I'm making this video to give you a little bit of a tutorial on how you can use it. So first, I'm just moving my mouse around. You can see there's no points on here right now. I'm going to use my mouse wheel to kind of wheel out, and you can see I'm getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I have like numbers all the way out to -90, and over here would be like plus 80. I guess I'm not quite centered, right? There we go. And I go up on the y-axis up to 50 and down to -50. You look at that, it's just a number line, right? Numbers get bigger as they go to the right, or numbers get bigger as they go up on the y-axis. Now without a mouse wheel, we can always use the plus and minus buttons here. Minus makes it much bigger. Wow, I'm really zoomed out. And plus makes me zoom in. There we go. We can click and drag and kind of maneuver it on our page. And I really like this because these graphs go on forever. Like, we're kind of limited if we use graph paper or something like that, but look, I just keep on going, and I'm out to now 20,000 and -25,000. It's insane, right? But it really does show you that the number lines just go on forever. You could entertain yourself for a couple of minutes if you wanted just to see how far out you could go. And similarly, if I zoom in, we talked about rational numbers. Look at this. As I get closer and closer, I'm down to 1/10. Now I've got 5/100ths. There's 2/100ths. I was looking for thousandths. There's 5,000ths, right? So I can zoom in really far and zoom out. Now that alone is like pretty cool, right? I mean, like, that's kind of fun. But we are looking here at a coordinate plane. Now we've looked before at this area. This is when we're graphing positive numbers. We know we go over first and then up. So if I graph 2, 2, it'd be right about here. But now we're introducing these negative integers. And so we really have now 4 quadrants. If you look at it, we were looking at just one quadrant before. We call this over here in the upper right corner quadrant 1. And then over here we call it quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and you guessed it, quadrant 4. We kind of go in like reverse clockwise order there, starting in the upper right corner, kind of working our way around. Now, here's what I want to show you, and it's how we can graph points. Now, I'm looking at a blank graph right now, but over here I can click on this, and I can enter in an ordered pair. So I'm going to use my parentheses, and I'll say 1, 2. And I have to hit my end parentheses. Oop, there we go. Now, that dot showed up right here. And look, that would be over 1 and up 2. I can choose to label it with a label. I can also change the name of it. Like if I want to call that dot, dot number 1 or point A, I can do that here by just changing it to point A. Now, I kind of like the idea of just leaving it with the name, or the numbers, I should say. Now, right now, I can't really do anything with that. I can't click on it. I can't move it around. But there's a setting grid cog up here. If I click on that and then click on the dot, this is going to allow me to kind of change some things. So first, I can change the color of it. If you are so inclined, you can make that look differently. We can change the look of it. Maybe it's going to be an open circle, closed circle, or an X. For our purposes, I like closed circle. But down here is where it's really cool. We can click this button that says drag. It gives you now the option to drag it. And this means I can drag it both directions, or really all directions, on the X and Y axis. So let me show you now what this allows me to do. I can click this, and now I can drag it around. Woohoo! And I'm dragging it through all the 4 quadrants. So I can move this around. Now, this is like super, super accurate. Like, I think that's probably 1, 2 right there. But look, it actually says it's 99/100ths and 2 1/100th. I'm a little bit off, right? Pretty close. But you can drag this and you can see how those X and Y axes change. Now I've gone over to the left 2 times, so it's a -2, or about that. And I've gone up +2. This is like -2, +2. Now, what if you want to add some more things on here? No problem. Just click over here, and let's add on another one. Let's go with our origin point, which you may know is 0, 0. I'll add the label on there. and it's a different color. Again, I can't click it or move it, but if I click on the dot, oops, sorry, I got to click the cogwheel first. There we go. Now I can click on the dot, and I can click this to be able to drag it around. So now I can drag that around, right? I could add a bunch of dots on here. In fact, there's different art projects you can do where you can graph different things, then connect the dots on the graph to make like a little picture. So all kinds of fun stuff to do. And I really like this tool, especially working on graphing on a computer. We don't have access necessarily to grid paper. Now, some of you do, but this is awesome because, again, I've got these 2 points on here. But if I zoom out, I'm just using my mouse wheel, you can see the further out I get, the more those points look like they're the exact same point. And the closer I get, the further those points go away from each other. Right? That's just kind of how the numbers work. We can also use this, by the way, if I wanted to, I guess. I could graph things. I know we've been comparing numbers. Like I can compare a -3 to a +2. Oh, well, that's pretty easy to see now that +2 is bigger than -3. Right? So this is going to be used in so many ways. And really, I just want you to be familiar with it and understand kind of how it works. So the more dots I want to add, I just click over here and add in my ordered pair, my X and Y values. I can choose to turn the labels on. I can customize the labels if I want to. So really, I just want you to be familiar with this tool because it's awesome. If you have any questions about it or anything else, feel free to let me know.